I would like to welcome Mrs Chinwe Ezenwe. She's the CEO and Creative Director of Look Limited. She has over 45 years experience in the public and private sector. She was also former acting managing director, chief executive officer of the National Inland Waterways Authority. Mrs. Ezenwe. Hello, Mrs. Ezenwe.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you.
Panelists and participants. I am indeed very glad to be here today. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Please mute yourself.
We can hear you. I can hear you.
Mute myself?
No, not you.
Oh, okay.
Not you, other people, so that they can hear you.
All right. I have to particularly thank the managing director and the team of Nigeria Magazine who have tirelessly in the past decade.
Okay, let me invite you. I invite you now.
At no cost to us, but to them, promoted the cause of Nigeria and Nigerians, both at home and in diaspora, ably led by Kede Aihe and his team. I congratulate you. I am actually puzzled because of the title, because I'm not an economist. I am an entrepreneur. And what we are talking about today is economic sustainability. And my own topic is entrepreneurship. And before I proceed, I want to inform the House that the federal government has just released a comprehensive economic sustainability plan. And I have to congratulate them for that. And I will advise everybody in the House to look for that document and read it carefully so that you will know where you belong. Having said that, entrepreneurship, what is it? And who is the right person to practice that profession? Everybody, I dare say, is an entrepreneur. Everybody. Is it the woman in the house who goes to the market with 5,000 naira or less and juggles that amount until she can put food on the table? She's an entrepreneur. Is it the man that sits under the tree and is also selling recharge cards? He's an entrepreneur. Is it the market woman who stays under sun and under rain and is trying to make a living? She is also an entrepreneur. Or is it the likes of Dangote, or Femi Otedola, or Kede Aihe, or Esosa Aihe? They are all entrepreneurs. But there are entrepreneurs and there are entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur, you can look it in your Wikipedia. I'm not here to do an intellectual exercise. Wikipedia is Wikipedia. But according to Mrs. Ezenwe, CEO of Look, an entrepreneur, I think, is someone who is constantly fishing in troubled waters, looking for fish with the hope of catching one. First of all, that water she knows is troubled. Secondly, she has hope that she must get it. An entrepreneur is someone who is constantly biting the bullet. It is war. As far as I'm concerned, business is war. You have enemies on all the fronts. Anyone that rears his ugly head, you shoot it down. You're the general. That is an entrepreneur, a risk taker. You must have the characteristics before you plunge in. So that guy that is selling on the road, that road seller that does Ben Johnson to get you your whatever he is selling on the traffic, is an entrepreneur. He's a risk taker. Because sometimes they are knocked down by vehicles. So, having defined that, I want to take you back because I always use myself to give case studies. That is the way Harvard Business School thrives. They thrive on case studies because that's the only way you can drive your points home. I became a child entrepreneur, a teenage entrepreneur at 16 during the Biafran Civil War. I had to put food on the table for my parents. I had to do whatever I needed to do to ensure that none of them dies during the war. I became an emergency entrepreneur. And I couldn't care less what happens to me. My main objective is that I must succeed, and massively too. And luckily, at the end of that war, I made £100, Biafran pounds. I handed it over to my father. He was quite sick. And he took that money because the federal government of Nigeria, through their then finance minister, the late Obafemi Awolowo, had declared that whatever amount you had in Biafra then, they can only give you £20. So my father got £20 for my £100 Biafran money. So we started life with £20. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it throughout that war. He passed on. So you see what type of entrepreneurship I was practicing at the time. I was making sure that I had things that people needed. I was creating something out of a need. An entrepreneur should be somebody creative, looking to create opportunities out of a need. Then COVID came. 53 years down the line for me. That was a second pandemic. That pandemic came with its own health hazard. That health hazard came with its own protocols. Wash your hands, sanitize them, social distance, stay at home. How can you have economic sustainability with all those protocols? How are you going to survive if you stay at home? Who is going to put food on your table? So you see, it's a different kind of war with an invisible enemy. But if you're a true entrepreneur, like I am, I'm a serial one, it's in my DNA. I started looking for a way to create a need because I have always believed that you cannot waste a crisis moment. There are opportunities in crisis. And if you're a true entrepreneur, you must have seen that COVID has already provided for every entrepreneur an opportunity. Let me start with one of the quickest ones, the low-hanging ones. Look at Zoom. Look at what we're doing. Virtual meetings. Prior to COVID, we would have been looking for British Airways or Lufthansa, this or that. to run to see what Kede Ahiye has to say. Maybe that meeting will not last for more than a day or two. Look at Zoom. Zoom has provided everybody an opportunity. So those people that are now going into IT, techno experts, web designers, you just name it. Is it in the health sector? If you are producing facial masks, which I had to start producing because I'm a producer of bags. But when I saw that there is going to be social distancing, no gathering of more than 20 people, I quickly knew that my business was up, that my business was based on people gathering, schools, universities, conferences, you just name it, burials, weddings. Then I had to quickly adapt. So an entrepreneur must be one that has ability to plan. You must be a risk taker. You must be creative. You must be innovative. You must be always ready to bite the bullet. You must be open-minded. You must be transparent. Because in these COVID times, there are so many things other entrepreneurs want to do, but they are not in any more position to do it. So you need to collaborate. You need to bring manufacturer A to come to manufacturer B. You need to start outsourcing. But how can you outsource when we have trust deficits? Because many people in Nigeria do not know how to trust, no integrity. Because as an entrepreneur, you require to have integrity. People must believe you. The products you produce must have those qualities that will say, yes, this thing can stand the test of time. You cannot collect money from people and give them rubbish, where you import some things from China, and before you use them for 1 week, they have torn apart. Look, it's known all over the world for quality products. So an entrepreneur during these COVID times must be one that is deep-rooted in innovation. We had to quickly digitalize because it dawned on me that there is no room for old school. If you don't know it, you don't know it. I had to, at this age, I'm 69, I had to start learning how to use the computer quickly. I said, whatever it takes, I must get to the root of it. However it takes. It took a friend of mine, Mfon Osoro, to engage me on Zoom once. And there was so much challenge, I was so frustrated. I said, what is she trying to do to me? I now said to myself, look, it's either you do it or you perish, because nobody is going to be pitying you. No room for pity party. And here am I today with even lovely background, so I can do the Zoom. I'm not afraid. Now, having said that, what do you need to prepare yourself with? As a practitioner, I keyed into all the programs, all the stimulus packages that the federal government has been dishing out in the past 3 months. I'm constantly with the newspaper. You have to buy Business Day. You have to go online. You have to be checking what is BOI doing, what is this 50 billion stimulus package, and let me reveal to you. I was playing with my phone and I saw this 50 billion. I said, wow, girl, you must make money now. They gave me all the things that I needed to have so that I can access the CBN 50 billion. Wow. I went into they said it's online. I said, maybe this is, the more you look, the less you see, but let me try. I dived into the system and I applied. They asked me several questions and I answered. They asked me how much money I'm looking for because they had made a stimulus package of 50 billion and they will give up to 3 million for households and up to 25 million for businesses. So I applied for 25 million. Somebody will say, you're so greedy. Yes, I needed that 25 million because I'm an entrepreneur. I had already built a factory in Abuja, and since there was going to be social distancing, I needed to divide my staff of 50 in, and 25 will remain here so that we practice social distancing while we're making our money. Lo and behold, after about 1 month, I heard from CBN. What a shock. I said, in Nigeria? Yes, I heard from them. They had approved some fund. It wasn't up to the amount I expected, but they approved something. And I jumped up. I said, okay, where do I go? I went to the office twice. And when I was frustrated, I wrote again. And they said, you don't need to come to our office. Just give us your BVN and give us your details. We will credit. And lo and behold, they credited me. So if I had sat down and I'm pitying myself and I'm not reading these things and I'm busy gossiping, criticizing government when I have not even done anything myself, because that is the biggest problem we have in Nigeria. People sit down and talk rubbish when they could use those times to grab opportunities that are out there. Do you know that right now, there are opportunities in agro, packaging food, logistics, opportunities in the health sector, making gowns, making footwears, making PPEs. I'm already making PPEs, whether they buy it or not. So an entrepreneur must also go and study how the military, how do they go to war? Because I've been doing that research for the past 4 years. The military has the best strategy for going to war. So an entrepreneur must prepare for war all the time, because if you are not at war with NEPA, you are at war with the water authority. You are at war with the FIRS. You are at war with the local IRS. You are at war with your partners. You are at war with your value chain, your suppliers, whether they are local or you are at war with yourself. You are at war with your friends. You are at war with everybody. That is an entrepreneur. So I had to go and find out the military. How do they go to war? Because I'm constantly at war.
Mrs. Ezenwe, can I?
Yes. Yes.
1
Please,
minute.
just permit me. I'm going to round up.
Okay.
So I discovered that the most important thing the military does is strategic planning and contingency planning. So I advise all entrepreneurs, go into contingency and strategic planning. You will always win a war. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was very good. So a word from Mrs. Ezenwe is that be strategic in your planning and have contingencies, because in business and in entrepreneurship or enterprise, you are in war. You've got a lot of opponents. You've got a lot of enemies. Make sure you are able to handle your risk and your threats and hone in on your strength and the opportunities. And COVID-19 is an opportunity that is presented to everyone. Thank you, Mrs. Ezenwe.